Okay, very good. I think we have some good critical mass on the line. Hi, everyone. Welcome and good morning. Hope you're having a good morning so far. This is the E&T Quarterly All-Staff Meeting. Thank you for being here. All right, so some kind of preliminary information. We want to encourage questions. If you would like to submit a question, please use the Zoom webinar Q&A feature. That's located and clickable at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Don't send those through chat. Use the Q&A feature. And then if you see a question asked that you would like to also ask or was of particular importance to you, please feel free to click the thumbs up icon to upvote that so that we know it's especially important. And then we always want to make sure that we're doing our best to focus on good communication. And so please know that the E&T intranet site is always updated and available with the latest and greatest information. E&T news bulletins hit your inbox weekly. Our monthly Tony's Topics newsletter, as well as TV screens with great relevant information that you'd want to know. And then without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tony Lucas, our Executive Director.
Well, good morning, E&T. Today I get the great pleasure to welcome our new employee to the E&T team. So from the CTO organization, we want to please extend a welcome to Meredith McCollum. If you see her out and about, make sure you say hello and give her a good E&T welcome. Thank you.
Great.
To you, Gina.
Great. Thanks so much, Tony. Welcome, Meredith. All right. And now it's my pleasure to hand it over to Luis Lopez from Central Administration.
Thank you, Gina. Good morning, everyone. Please give me a moment. To start, I'd like to share a few updates from the TOD team. The Work Environment Pulse survey went out on April 21st. If you haven't filled it out yet, please take a few minutes when you can. Your input really helps us improve how we work as a department. We're also launching our mentoring program this month. This program could be an opportunity to support growth, share knowledge, and grow connections across teams. The virtual suggestion box has been getting a lot of great input. Thank you to everyone who's shared ideas so far. The senior management team is taking the time to review each one and discuss next steps. Keep an eye out for details about our upcoming Learn and Launch session in May. This session will be a great opportunity to explore some of the training and development resources available to support you in your role and help you grow your career. Next, we have a few updates from the Human Resources team. Vice Chancellor's review of job openings. All employment offers and job postings must now be reviewed and approved by a committee of Vice Chancellors due to two major financial concerns: a significant budget deficit in the university's central resources, and the high likelihood of reduced federal funding for research. This review applies to all campus positions, including current vacancies and ongoing recruitments without offers. The committee's decisions will be based on alignment with UCLA's strategic goals and available resources. Employee Services is submitting hiring approval requests weekly, and hiring managers are asked not to extend any job offers until formal approval is received. Please expect delays as the committee is reviewing positions campus-wide. Employee Services will notify hiring managers as soon as approvals are granted. Student employee Social Security number. Student hires are now required to provide a Social Security number to be processed in UCPath. This may delay the hiring process by 2 to 3 weeks, depending on when the student applies for the Social Security number and provides confirmation to HRPOC. If the student has cleared all background checks but is still awaiting a Social Security number, Employee Services will issue a welcome letter with a start date estimated to be 3 weeks out. Once the student submits the Social Security Office confirmation letter to the HRPOC, they will be entered into UCPath and final clearance will follow. When making a verbal offer, please advise student employees to respond promptly to emails and complete all requirements, like onboarding appointment, I-9 verification, and Social Security number applications. Delay in any step will impact their start date. Here are the current job openings for events and transportation. Please feel free to share them with anyone who may be interested. Lastly, a reminder from the Health and Human Resources team. To help ensure UC benefits are used appropriately, Unified HR verifies eligibility for certain dependents, like spouses, domestic partners, stepchildren, and others. You'll get a packet from Unified HR if you added dependents during open enrollment or it's been over 3 years since their last verification. Be sure to respond by the deadline to avoid disenrollment. Biological, adopted, and foster children or dependents verified in the last 3 years are exempt. If you need help, please call Unify HR at 1-844-718-3970. Website access requires an 8-digit code sent via email. Thank you, everyone. Now I'll pass it on to Robin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much, Luis. I appreciate the introduction. So I have the privilege of announcing our Employee of the Month recipient since the last time we met, which was, gosh, back in fall. So let's take a moment to recognize our star performers. In December, we had Laura Orvañanos, who is in our assets team. She was our December Employee of the Month, along with Catherine, AKA Cat Yam from Bruin Commuter Programs. Kicking us off in January 2025, we had Ted Privet from Fleet and Transit, along with Giovanni Rodriguez, also from Fleet and Transit, but from Strategy and Business Analysis. So bravo to them for getting that admin and operational side for Employee of the Month in January. For the month of February, a familiar face, we have Samson Ibebe from our valet team. And we also had Brian Campillo from Bruin Commuter Services. For the month of March, we have Angel Garcia from our valet team and Nurio Diaz from Central Ticket Office. Round of applause to them for their hard work and dedication and just moving our organization forward. Now, to not be outshined, let's not forget about our wonderful Student Employee of the Month honorees. For the month of December, we had Corey Richmond representing Assets team, Isabella Jackson, also from our Assets team, JJ Rodriguez from our Assets team, seeing a theme here. And then for the month of March, she was just confirmed yesterday, we have Samantha Navarrete from Valet team. So huge round of applause for our students. Man, we couldn't do it without them. So they really put in that work and make our organization look that much better. So round of applause. Now that we're rounding off and coming into the summer months, it is what I like to call employee celebration month, theme, whatever you want to call it. So this is a time where we really put in that extra energy to recognize and celebrate our employees. So on June 3rd, we will be announcing our Employee of the Year honorees, one for administrative and one for operational. So keep an eye out for that announcement to come out, letting you know who those honorees will be. June 18th, our summer celebration will be back up at Dixon Plaza, which is awesome. Just follow the barbecue scent and you will find your way. So that's always a great event where we're doing a lot of fun activities, and hopefully Michael Beck might visit us once again. And this one is bittersweet. We have a retirement celebration coming up, and that is slated for June 26th. We're still teasing out the details, but we do know that we will be saying goodbye to Cheryl, Richard, and Eric Liu. So again, very bittersweet, and stay tuned. We will be making some announcements in the next coming weeks regarding that. So with that, I would like to now hand it over to Jamal Johnson over in Central Ticket Office. Take it away, Jamal.
Thank you, Robin. Good morning. My name is Jamal Johnson from the Central Ticket Office, and I'm happy to share some updates from our team. We recently just finished ticket servicing both our women's basketball and men's basketball athletic teams. For the women, they made it to the postseason NCAA tournament. We were able to provide ticket services for not only the play-in game that took place here at Pauley Pavilion, but also the first and second round games as well. In addition to that, we were able to send a career staff member to the Spokane Regional to provide ticket services there as well. And the women's team made it to their first ever Final Four appearance in school history. So we provided 2 career staff members to handle all the ticket allocations for the Final Four, and we were able to use our entire ticket allocation for that tournament. On the men's side, they also made the postseason tournament. So they played 2 NCAA tournament games. We had 1 career staff member travel with the team, providing ticket services for all the guests who would like to attend. In addition to that, we are currently working on season ticket renewals for UCLA football, as well as the men's and women's teams. Looking ahead to the spring quarter, we are currently working on ticketing for the following spring Olympic sports. We have our men's baseball team, we have our women's softball team, as well as our men's volleyball and women's water polo teams. All 4 teams are nationally ranked, and typically what comes with being highly ranked in these sports is you get the opportunity to host postseason games. So right now our team is currently anticipating the postseason for these teams, and we're working on staffing, ticket services, as well as scanning services for these additional games. Oftentimes, the turnaround is very quick from going from the regular season to the postseason. So we usually have to prepare ahead of time to make sure that we can turn it around very quickly for our athletic department. In addition to that, looking ahead, some other high-profile events that are going to be taking place in the spring quarter. We have some student events on campus that we provide ticket services to. We have our Spring Sing talent showcase that is student-run. We will also have the return of our Jazz Reggae Festival, Memorial Day weekend. That is taking place on campus in Wilson Plaza. We have been working on since the beginning of January with a professional rugby team that has had all their home matches take place on UCLA's campus at Wallace Annenberg Stadium. So we've been providing ticket services for them. This weekend, they are having a doubleheader that will also include the USA rugby team. And then later in June, we will also be hosting a professional track meet at Drake Stadium on campus. So this is something that we've done in previous years. It's kind of tied to the lead up to the LA Olympics. So in addition to that, one thing that isn't listed here that we're preparing for is our commencement services on campus. So we typically distribute over 100,000 tickets to graduates as well as their guests for over 70 commencement ceremonies. So yeah, full slate ahead. And right now, what I would like to do is pass it on to Yolanda Luna from Commuter and Parking Services.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Yolanda Luna, Parking Enforcement Supervisor, and today I'll be giving updates for commuter and parking services. We'll start off with CMPS administration with the increase of parking fees in a few areas. Daily visitor parking will increase from $16 to $17. The monthly yellow permit will increase from $104 to $108.46. And yellow rate for affiliates will increase from $7.70 to $8.03. All increases will go into effect on July 1. Oh, I think my slides are messed up. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened with my slides. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Wait, nope, we jumped forward. They're out of order. Okay. I don't know what happened to my slides. I'm sorry, guys. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, yeah, and maybe do a reshare. It looked as if maybe the toggle was hypersensitive, so maybe just a fresh share.
How did I do that? Yeah, my slides are not in order. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Do you have the ones I dropped to you?
Yeah, let me look at Box if you want to use those ones.
In the meantime, though, if we want to hand it over to Nick while we work through this, does that work?
Nick, let us know if that works
Yeah,
on your
I'm happy to
end.
go. I think Magali
Great.
was before me.
Oh, sorry. Now I'm just skipping. Oh, yeah, Magali.
It's okay. I'll
Changing
go.
it up a little. I
Okay.
was seeing if you were paying attention. That's all.
Thanks,
I'll go
Magali.
ahead. Of course.
Thanks.
Righty. Okay, and you guys can hear me, right? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Magali de los Santos, and I will be presenting for the FSA team. So starting with finance, to ensure proper processing of blood compensation time, please submit scanned copies of your blood compensation time slips to the finance team via email at blood@ts.ucla.edu. It is important to note that these slips should not be sent to HRPOC. When entering your time in Chronos, use the blood time code. Additionally, remember that compensation time slips cannot be utilized on the same day they are earned. And for any questions or further assistance, please reach out to Mei Zhang. Next is IT products. Recruitment has been completed and the E&T product-oriented delivery team is now 100% staffed. Please see the updated org chart on the slide. Admin IT consolidation. 2 months into the help desk/ITS customer success transition, the ITS customer success team is now providing majority of help desk support and endpoint management. The knowledge transfer phase is currently underway for the transition of all platform and infrastructure to the ITS infrastructure service team. Some examples include network, servers, software licensing, and server room infrastructure. Transit portal. Effective April 1st, the project has transitioned to the IT testing phase, and the project is expected to be completed by June 30th. Driver safety and compliance project overhaul. This project is a modernization of the custom-built driver management system, which migrates the new system to the Salesforce platform, updates legacy interfaces, and provides better functionality for compliance analysts and department contacts. In addition, the newer platform will allow for continued improvements and functionality to be added as the time goes on. This project is also expected to be completed by June 30th. Fleet Anywhere improvements. Phase 2 launched successfully on March 3rd. The key features include a customer access portal which provides information on work orders, maintenance, and vehicles, a billing report in Tableau which provides users with the ability to customize their reports, and Fund Manager access to FA via single sign-on. Phase 3 is in progress and is expected to launch at the end of June. The key features will be shared by Yvette Damon later in the presentation. Yvette's online updates. IT has completed Sprint 1 and 2 requirements around updates for major events policy. They're currently working on Sprint 3 requirements and major events reporting. Additional minor enhancements and updates are being implemented as needed or requested. Air Quality Management District 2025 Survey. The survey measures the success of our sustainable transportation programs and assists in calculating emission reductions. The IT modernized frameworks and dependencies to the latest updates and standards. Vulnerability Management Program. Burn, Connect, and Secure. To comply with the UCOP cybersecurity mandate, it is necessary to identify, track, and catalog all devices connected to the university networks. IT is utilizing the ServiceNow Configuration Management Database as a central IT asset repository to integrate and enrich data. This work is ongoing. Vulnerability management. The team is proactively advancing its vulnerability management efforts by modernizing legacy servers and continuously patching operating systems and applications. With the availability of new tools like Qualys, there is now significantly greater insight into vulnerabilities and remediation options. To conclude, the analytics team has delivered ski data revenue and transaction dashboards to replace manually generated monthly reports and improve efficiency. They assisted mobility planning and traffic systems in creating visualizations to support the annual State of the Commute 2024 report. They also generated various dashboards for the report, including vehicle miles traveled, miles per gallon by zip code, daily vehicle trips, mode split, public transit sales, commuter all-access pass, and van pool. They completed the pedestrian and bike intersection dashboard, which is an interactive map that displays counts of bikes and pedestrians per intersection on campus. They published the customer access portal billing report in Tableau, which will be replacing online billing access. And they are currently developing a dashboard for the Will Accessible Vehicles grant that will facilitate reporting grant requirements to the city and ensure compliance. Thank you, everyone. And I will now pass it on to Nick or Yolanda.
Oh, thank you so much. Yolanda is all set to go. So Yolanda, go ahead and take it away and then we'll go to Nick. This one.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yolanda Luna, a Parking Enforcement Supervisor, and today I will be going over updates for commuter and parking services. We'll start with CMPS administration with the increase of parking fees in a few areas. Daily parking for visitors will increase from $16 to $17. The monthly yellow permit will increase from $104.06 to $108.46. And the yellow rate for affiliates will increase from $7.70 to $8.03. All increases will go into effect on July 1. Moving on to Bruin commuter programs, for their winter quarter customer service matrix, they closed 5,955 email cases, and they handled 3,560 phone calls. The CRM has also successfully hired 18 new Bruin commuter student agents to date. The new agents are currently completing training and onboarding, and they will soon be ready to begin assisting the campus community with transportation-related inquiries. CRM outreach team recently attended Bruin Day 2025 for UCLA-bound first-year students and their families. Our staff helped share important information about getting to UCLA and navigating the campus and surrounding Los Angeles areas. For space utilization around campus, we are regularly running above 90% occupancy in some of our parking structures, specifically on our south side of campus, with structure 8 being 96% occupied. Here you can see a matrix showing the new record of 12.8 thousand unique parking permit purchases via the e-permit portal for March 2025. BCP is offering free quarterly commuter all-access pass for eligible employees with unlimited rides on the Antelope Valley Transit, LADOT, Santa Clarita Transit, and Long Beach Transit commuter express lines. For more information, please visit transportation.ucla.edu to fill out the Smart Sheet form, and a customer service representative will get back to you. Citation review and adjudication process 5,245 appeals out of 11,771 citations issued for the quarter. We maintain an average of 20% appeal dismissal rates and an overall downward trend of dismissed citations. Medical operations and offsite properties are currently in the bidding process for construction and installation of new ski data equipment. As a reminder, this project will include the installation of parking equipment in all current ski data locations, which include Ronald Reagan Medical Center, Stein Lot, Luskin, and Medical Plaza. In addition, the Medical Plaza parking area will also have construction renovation on level B1, which will include moving the gate equipment closer to the ramp, which will allow all customers to be within ski data parking environment. This means we'll no longer need to have the T2 pay stations in the Medical Plaza for ADA customers, which has caused confusion when drivers try to pay for parking. The parking enforcement specialist will be starting new work schedules beginning on April 27th. Our hours of operation will be Sunday from 6:30 a.m. to 1800, Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. to 21:30, and Saturdays from 6:30 to 1900. Parking assets and facilities management will begin repairs on structure 18 next month. We are working with DPM on the expansion of modular trailers for Geffen Academy on Lot 36. Restriping of Lot 36 was also completed on April 8th. We are currently piloting JAPA as part of our space management efforts in structure 4 and will expand to structure 7 for more testing. We'll be waterproofing the rooftops of structure 2, 3, 8, and 9. We are currently working on a timeline and a schedule for the work to be done. The plan is to complete 2 areas this summer and 2 by next summer. FSRs for facility support for commencement, which include additional trash pickups, elevator technician support, and adjustments to the exhaust fans scheduled in PS4 and PF7 have been submitted for June. Parts for the glass door seals that separate conference rooms 124, 157 have been repaired as of this morning. Please be mindful when putting the doors back together so they do not slam into place. If your unit has any items in the old enforcement briefing room storage, they need to be removed by May 2nd. MDS will be discarding anything left behind. For more information, please contact Diana Cortez. Layout number 1 pictured here was chosen for the break room project. The construction start date is to be determined. And lastly, please see this chart for building contacts to ensure everyone is connected to the correct resources as quickly as possible. You can find this chart on SharePoint under Resources and Department Resources. Thank you. That concludes all updates for commuter and parking services. Now I'll pass it on to Nick.
I will take it from here. Thank you. All right, let's see. I messed this up yesterday during practice, but let's see if I learned from my mistakes. Okay, hi everyone. Let's take a quick journey through mobility planning and traffic systems. On-campus traffic systems. Let's start with the CEY North bus pad expansion. This work has been ongoing for some months now. As a reminder,
you're not in full
oh
screen
my gosh.
presentation.
All right, still can't do it. Thank you, Dave. Let's try that again. How does that look? Amazing.
You're good.
Okay. So the CEY North bus pad expansion, this is a project to build a secondary bus pad on the south side of CEY North, right outside of Wallace Annenberg Stadium. This will create safer drop-offs for our coach and visitor buses. Additionally, the sidewalk will be expanded to accommodate the heavy flow of pedestrians, mostly students, who use that sidewalk to traverse between the hill and academic buildings. Optical bars, which you see on the photo on the slide, these were installed in mid-March on CEY West and also on Deneuve. This is a common traffic calming measure aimed at slowing down cars, especially on approaches to curves along these particular sections. Bike sensitive loops these are sort of those traffic loops you see installed in the asphalt. We installed 8 bike sensitive loops in different locations over spring break this year. These are meant to make our traffic signals a bit more responsive to those traveling on bikes and scooters. Additionally, our 2024 coordinating count report was officially finalized. This is an annual endeavor where we actually count the number of traffic trips on campus at a set number of locations. This report was published this past February. And I guess if the main upshot from this data is that daily car trips on campus are actually slightly down from where they were in 2023, all of this despite a campus population that is projected to be higher than ever before. I also realized one omission on this slide I should mention that was mentioned earlier is the state of the commute report. That was just a little something that we did, so make sure to check that out as well. In the world of public transit, Magali touched on this earlier, but I'll also talk a little bit about it. That's our AQMD commuter survey. This is a mandated survey that we are required to push out to employees, which asks those selected how they commuted to and from their work site during the first week of March. This year, with the recent acquisition of the West Valley Medical Center into UCLA's real estate portfolio, we had to work hard to include that site into our pre-existing survey SOPs, and this was a very heavy lift, so thank you to all of those who helped make that possible. The survey is still open as of right now, but I'm pleased to say that we've already hit our mandated 90% response rate. This was done in record time this year. The survey is sent to almost 10,000 employees, so it's amazing we've hit that response rate already, and we hope to wrap up the survey in the next week or so. Our most popular Transit Pass product is the UPass for our undergrads. The UPass is scheduled to hit the undergraduate ballot box this spring, next month actually, for a renewal vote. The current UPass referendum doesn't expire for another year, but the students felt that it was important to get a head start on the approval process, especially while there's still so much enthusiasm for the current product here on campus. So we've worked hard to negotiate a new price point for the UPass and a new term limit with the USAC Facilities Commission, and we're going to help get the word out on the upcoming vote starting on May 9th. Each fall, we send an AQMD sort of commuter-like survey to our students, both on and off campus, to gauge their travel mode behavior. This report was also finalized in the past few months. One quick top line result that I find very cool and interesting, I hope you do too, is that for the second year in a row, the percentage of students living off campus who take transit as their primary commute mode to campus was actually higher than those who choose to drive. So I think this really speaks volumes to the popularity of the UPass and GradPass programs. Finally, our Tier 1 program, this was also touched on earlier, has historically only been available to employees within administration. We've started to expand the program to other departments outside of administration. We are in the process of onboarding our second department outside of administration, the ERRC, the Emirati and Retiree Relations Center. So it's very exciting to see this program expand even further to employees throughout campus. Finally, in the world of sustainable and active transportation, we're working on a very cool placemaking project to enhance the pedestrian and visual environment on campus. We're partnering with a local arts nonprofit called Beautify Earth to revitalize and add artwork, sort of like mini murals, to 14 traffic signal utility cabinets around campus. The theme is the celebration of people and place. So 7 of the cabinets will feature portraits of UCLA students of various backgrounds, and these were recently photographed by the artist during a visit to campus. That is a photo of the artist and a sample of some of his work on the slide right there. The other 7 utility boxes will showcase local flora and fauna to reflect the ecological diversity of our campus and of LA. In the realm of active transportation, we are gearing up. Yes, I did use a bike pun for Bike Month in May. The calendar will feature an array of practical and engaging events for the UCLA cycling community. On Tuesday, May 13th, we'll have a bike pit stop located at Westwood and LeConte. On Thursday, May 15th, we'll be hosting our annual appreciation luncheon for our bike community. And then throughout the week, we'll have 3 mobile bike repairs on the 12th, 13th, and 14th at 3 different distinct locations around campus. Those locations are still being finalized. And with that, I will hand it over to Yvette with Fleet and Transit. Thank you, everyone.
Bet it looks like we can see your screens. You're in presenter mode, but you are muted at the moment.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yep, very good. You're in presenter mode.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you, Nick. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, good morning. I'm Yvette DeMont with Fleet and Transit. I will be providing you with some exciting updates and progress across our department. We're pleased to announce that we are hiring a research writer to support UC-wide fleet electrification initiatives. This new position will focus on securing grant funding, planning EV charging infrastructure, streamlining vehicle procurement, and helping achieve UC sustainability objectives. Our technicians recently completed hands-on training with GM's latest technologies. The training focused on engine performance, climate control systems, and advanced diagnostics using GM's proprietary scan tools, enhancing our capacity for efficient and accurate service. We've implemented an express preventative maintenance service to improve efficiency. Preventative maintenance refers to the required checks that make sure vehicles are in good health. With a dedicated technician, We're significantly reducing vehicle downtime and maintaining PM schedules, allowing departments to stay operational with minimal disruptions. We've completed key EV charging infrastructure upgrades. At Parking Structure 8, we installed 2 dual-head networked chargers to replace outdated units. At Parking Structure 4, we added 10 new networked chargers to accommodate increased demand, improving both capacity and reliability. These chargers are controlled through software to make sure electric charge is distributed optimally. We expanded our sustainable fleet with the addition of 4 new vehicles, a Chevy Equinox and 3 Chrysler Pacificas, with an EV cargo van arriving soon. These additions enhanced availability, improve passenger comfort, and align with our commitment to environmentally responsible transportation. Phase 2 of our vehicle information database upgrade is now completed, focused on the new customer access portal. This replaces our legacy online billing access portal with a more intuitive web-based system. Users can now easily access vehicle information, billing reports, and maintenance records. Phase 3 is underway and will include enhanced billing, automated fuel integration, and expanded systems functionality. We're excited to share that construction is about to begin for the GenCell hydrogen fuel cell project. This initiative advances are effective in zero emissions energy and support resilient off-grid charging capabilities for our fleet. Building remodeling is nearly complete. We finalized the removal of outdated CNG compressors, and we've submitted a request for a new DC fast charger for future support to further support fleet electrification in advance of the full electrification of the transit yard. Thank you, and now I would like to turn it over to Bill Sweeney with the Events Office.
Thank you, Yvette. All right, hello everyone. My name is Bill Sweeney with the Events Office, and I'll be sharing some of our recent activities for our unit. In terms of events, we've been staying busy the last few months, and here are some highlights of the events we've been working on. We worked on a reception for an award show that take place in Royce Hall for the Annie Awards. It's a animation film and television awards, and they have a nice reception in Royce Quad we helped prepare for. The Nike Corporation did a After Dark campus run. That was a run to promote a larger run that they're sponsoring for promoting women in sports. This run was a little different for us in that it was actually on campus sidewalks. Because of the time we couldn't do it on the roadways. So they revised their distance, and we were able to work with them on doing a run in the evening from Wilson Plaza up the steps around the core campus and back down again. A more traditional campus run was held on April 6th. That's the Bruin Run Walk. That's an annual student government-sponsored event to raise money for their charities. And we had a lot of help from parking services and parking enforcement specialists to hold traffic on that one. In addition to that, we did a number of marketing activations. That's a good source of revenue for the university, where corporations can come and sponsor their products and do product giveaways to students. A couple more large events we've worked on recently that we want to make sure get some notice is the Farhang Foundation's Nowruz celebration. This is a Persian New Year celebration. This event's been happening for over 5 years now on campus, and it's gotten larger every year. There's now several thousand people that attend this day-long family event in Dixon Court North and South. The law school celebrated their 75th anniversary on April 4th, and they took over all of Dixon Plaza for that, and we helped them with that setup. Bruin Day also, as it was mentioned earlier, it happened on April 12th. So that's bottom right. You can see the photo of Bruin Day there. Coming up, we have a few interesting events. This week, actually, in just a few days, we have a event that is for Pacific Palisades Charter High School in Wilson Plaza. It's this high school was impacted and damaged by the Palisades fires in January, and a company that was founded by Lady Gaga called House Labs wanted to help out the students. They are sponsoring and organizing a dance for them, and they contacted UCLA to use as a location. The UCLA Events Office is working with them on producing the dance on Friday evening in Wilson Plaza as a contribution to their event, because we realize it is for a positive community service. The Events Office is waiving our venue fees on that. It's another upcoming spring quarter events. Bruin Day for transfers will be coming up next week. That's a replication of the Bruin Day for freshmen. As Jamal mentioned earlier, the Jazz Reggae Festival will be happening. That typically is handled in in recreation venues, but this year, due to a sod replacement project, the soccer stadium, Annenberg Stadium, was not available for the event, so they're moving the concert festival to Wilson Plaza. So we're doing that on Memorial Day in May. And as also mentioned previously, another presentations, commencement's coming up in mid-June. Actually, we'd have commencement starting as early as mid-May. The law school will be happening first. Law school and medical school used to always be in Dixon Court North. Last year, due to the campus protests, we moved all those outdoor ceremonies to indoor or gated locations. And it turns out the law school and the medical school both liked their new locations better than the traditional campus quad location. So the law school will stay in Poly Pavilion, and the David Geffen School of Medicine will stay in LATC. So we're working with those coordinators on that. Other than that, we are planning our normal commencement ceremony locations in the open plaza areas. We're hoping for the best. So right now we'll be having our standard commencement ceremonies throughout the campus. Also of note this year, we're now added a second commencement ceremony to Monday after commencement weekend. That's the Department of Statistics. They outgrew their venue of Ackerman Grand Ballroom, and they wanted to stay indoors, and the only option was to move it to Monday. So in Poly Pavilion on Monday after commencement, there'll be two ceremonies, Statistics and University Extension. Outside of events, a few projects we're working on is a campus-wide scheduling system project. This was a project driven by Michael Beck's office and to attempt to find a system that could replace the Events Online, the EOL system, and work potentially to unify all event venues and other scheduled venues on campus under one umbrella. So that's a lot of work. We're working with business process management on that. And we're just in the very early stages of looking at different products and doing some informational interviews with all the different campus venue managers to determine their needs for this large-scale campus-wide initiative. And we're also still working on Events Online major events tracking. So major events was a way that a new policy the university developed to try to better track larger events and events that would require special security. So working with the IT team, we implemented a major events tracking feature to EOL, and we're continuing to fine tune that system. And that concludes the Events Office presentation. Now I'm going to hand it over to Steve Wong to wrap up with question and answers.
Thanks, Bill. And thank you to all the speakers today. Really appreciate the job that you guys have done. For those of you, if you haven't noticed yet, if you click on Q&A, you can see a number of questions that have already been answered via typed answers during today's session. So please look through those. We also do, I believe, copy and paste those into a file that's posted on the intranet so that people can read them later in case they don't have enough time to go through them live during the meeting. You will see that there were some questions in there regarding different types of workspaces, cubicles, offices for employees, working on-site versus off-site. Again, you can go there and read the general answers, but I think the message at the end of the day was, if you're workspace is insufficient for certain reasons, or if the service you're getting from hybrid support staff in the office is insufficient, you definitely want to let your management team know. We definitely want to, we've got constraints as far as budget, space, materials, and time, but we do need to prioritize. And if there are issues out there, we would like to know about them. So please, you can communicate it to your management team, all the way up to your senior manager, or even to myself or Tony. I know his door is open a lot. So please, yeah, we don't know what we don't know. So let us know. I understand there was another comment in here, an open one. I'm going to click answer live and just address this about employees being dissatisfied about having to risk their health working outdoors during the wildfires. We definitely do take this seriously. We follow the campus guidance though, and oftentimes, the CHR guidance they give us is to make sure that we handle things like this the same way the rest of the departments are handling it, so that all the employees are treated fairly. In this particular case, it was campus's determination that that the conditions were not a risk to the health of the employees at the time. That being said, when that happens, and there are concerns, maybe you're seeing something that campus isn't seeing. Maybe there's something local happening. Maybe there's something you're seeing coming under the doorway, or you're on the west side of campus and you're the first to see it. Absolutely let our HR team know. We're all available. You can reach us virtually, or as I've said, going into the future, we will try to have a presence on site if we can get there, if we're not already there, to support all of you that are on site and working. There was another question there about can you request things like a health mitigation factors, things that'll help, like masks and stuff like that. Absolutely. I believe we still keep masks stocked and are available. They're just not as prevalent and visible anymore as they were just coming right back from the pandemic. But you can absolutely request those. And if there's a need for that, we'll get them to you. If we don't have them, we'll get some.
And just
management team, did I miss anything? Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, it's important to note that we did distribute N95 masks during the wildfires. They were made available, and they were encouraged. The use of them was encouraged. I understand that they're not particularly comfortable, particularly if you're out and moving, but they were provided out of an abundance of caution. Next question that I saw was that E&T leadership. The question was, have we been made aware of additional cost-saving measures to come? There has been no discussion of furloughs, which was brought up in the question. So the answer to that is no. The hope is to, in order for UCLA and E&T to be able to get through this structural deficit, there's something in the order of a $300 million shortfall. Part of this was programmed through the governor's budget. Some of it is in preparation for what may come from federal funding cuts. We believe that the normal attrition, and looking at refilling positions is going to be the most effective way to handle that. And so far, there has been no discussions about furloughs.
Okay. Thank you, Tony. I'll mark that one as done. And by the way, you'll see me typing out some lengthy answers in the Q&A. I will say, full disclosure, that was a collection of information I received from senior managers and from Tony himself. So I am not that eloquent and smart. So I got some compliments on some of those, and I will pass that along, the credit to the rest of the management team. But again, I think I did miss one point. There was a part of the question was regarding if there's any thoughts about hiring like temporary workers to assist during emergencies. I mean, to be honest, no, that's not something I've heard about at this time. But as was pointed out to me by Ray and others, we definitely want to continue to improve how we respond to things and how prepared we are for things. So again, please let your management team, let your HR team know if you think there are any issues that need to be passed on to Campus Human Resources or to the Emergency Management Office. I'm just looking at a question right now. The issue that hasn't been directly addressed are the associated benefits from work from home, such as lower parking and gas costs. From employees that do not have the option to work from home. Yeah, that is true. I mean, there's not a whole lot for me to say other than that is true. That is a benefit of working from home. I'm not quite sure what the question is here. I guess it's just probably the perception of unfairness if you don't have the same benefits when you have to come on site. And I would say, going forward, that is, the jobs nowadays aren't created equal as far as operational versus administrative, and the ones that can be performed from home, again, assuming they can be performed from home as well as they're performed from the office. The campus and E&T does support hybrid work for jobs that can be performed at home at an equally high service level as the ones that, when they're in the office. Surveys and data shows that, many of those employees are just as, if not more productive. But that's why I said, if you are someone who is on site and you're feeling like you're not getting the support, you're not getting the same responsiveness you used to get from people who are working from home, definitely let your management team know, because we want to address that. If you don't score well in your performance review, does that mean you'll be the first to be let go? No. But also this is up to interpretation. I'm not quite sure what is meant by don't score well on the performance review. So I don't know if any of the SMT have comments for this, but as far as, I guess, let go meaning layoffs, the layoff order tends to be a combination of things. Oftentimes it's the seniority of the employees first and foremost before performance review evaluations. I know from creating hypothetical, layoff plans during the pandemic, because we had to be prepared for anything, and that was the case at the time then. But again, layoffs is not something that we are used to going through very often. So, and that we hope to avoid at all costs. How can we make it more equitable for on-site workers financially? This is somewhat related, I think, to the other question about people who get to work from home are saving on certain costs. Honestly, I am not a person with a whole lot of ideas for this. Campus, I think, has discussed these same issues ad nauseum from when we came back. And basically it is, the people that get to benefit, good for them. I hope that they they take advantage of it and that they work just as hard. And if you're at home, that you're providing great service. For the people who have to be on site, it is part of the job. Not all jobs can be done from home. And that was sort of the sad truth that the conclusion we had to come to at the time. And as far as making things equitable financially, I would say that's sort of a little bit of a pipe dream, because I'm not quite sure exactly what we do. And as soon as we did do something, who's to say things are still equitable and equal, right? Updates on pay increases for policy coverage staff. I don't think we have heard anything lately. So, and usually this is the time of year when the regents are actually solidifying whatever may have been proposed, maybe back in March. So we haven't heard of any drastic changes or anything solid one way or the other. Honestly, anything would surprise me at this point, but we haven't been given anything concrete. So, let's see here. I see that Gina is typing an answer down there regarding skills development and working from home, or people who are on site. Can there be an effort to provide more on-site benefits? Speak with the staff to hear what they would need. Okay, I mean, I guess, yes, there can be an effort made. Technically, if that's the question, I'm giving you a technical answer. If your suggestion is to speak with the staff, then that's what we'll do. So I know we're hitting at 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I think I took everything from the top and made my way to the bottom. Any of the panelists today, is there anything else you'd like to chime in with? I'm sure I probably missed something here or there.
I know that Dave responded via chat on the STC project. I wonder, Dave, if you could just speak about that for a moment, because not everyone knows EIRs and all that.
Sure.
Very unique stuff. Yeah.
So this giant multi-billion-dollar project is undergoing environmental impact review. The draft report will be out in late May or early June, and the Metro Board will make a locally preferred alternative decision, which one will be constructed sometime in early 2026, unfortunately. It's a bit of ways, but the report is a big milestone, and that'll be out in about a little more than a month.
All right, thanks, Dave. Okay, I guess if there's no other comments, I hand it back to, Robin and Gina. Thank you two for facilitating and herding all the cats as usual. Appreciate it. Thank you to all the speakers today.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Thank
All
you.
right. With that, that concludes our quarterly all-staff meeting. Thank you all. Have a